faces all over the world, all over lovely parts of Australia and New Zealand. So in my part of the world, we say Nina Mani for good morning, and you say back to me, Mani I. So Nina Mani. And kia ora to all our friends there, Aotearoa New Zealand. It's lovely to have you all here today. We're very excited to have the ANZ activation call. And my name's Moira Weir, and I'm calling in from Wadawali Select Beach in South Australia on Kaurna country. And if you wouldn't mind popping into the chat, if you're virtually joining us, or if you're in the room, it's already been named on your screen, what country you're on, what First Nations country that we're bringing into our space together today. We'd love you to do that. Tell us who you are as well in the chat, and make sure that you're all comfortable joining into this wonderful conversation that we're going to have today. I'm part of a global movement of women seeking to shift the conditions that are holding injustice and inequity in place, and that's why I'm part of the SheEO world. It's so wonderful to be able to work at scale with women all over the world working on the world's to-do list. Today we've got an opportunity to really tap into the SheEO magic. And there are plenty of people on the call, some of whom are already activators and ventures, and we really want to welcome our guests. So this is a public call today, and you'll get a little taste of what happens on our calls, generally speaking. Okay, so we've got a few instructions to make sure that you can really join in the call. You would have seen earlier, if you are an activator, and you can put an A next to your name if you're online. If you're a venture, put a V. And if you're a guest, a G. And if you're a newbie and haven't been to anything at all before, we'd love that little asterisk, a star, and that will really help our breakout times together. So we're going to hear this morning from Vicky Saunders, our founder, and Vicky's going to wave herself wildly in a minute so you can all see where she is. And then you're going to have a little bit of an overview about what the SheEO community is all about with Jessie. And we'll hear from an activator, Nikki Shook in ANZ in New Zealand. And then from the lovely Michaela Jade from Indigital, a SheEO Australian venture. Then we'll have some time to be in breakout rooms to chat to each other and learn about one of the pieces of SheEO magic, the Ask Give. We'll close out with some more information and ways to join in and learn more about SheEO. So let's start though with just landing into the space, and we've got live events all over the place. So when I call on you, if you're at a live event, what I'd love you to do is wave wildly so we can all join in. So who's on Niue country in Mackay? There we go. Hello, Mackay. Nice to see you. In Yangara Tubal country, Brisbane. Big wave from Brizzy. Yay, lovely. On the Condobolka coast, in the Gold Coast. Who's up there on the Gold Coast? Fabulous. Yay, lovely to see you. And Wurundjeri country in Melbourne town. Where are you, Melbourne? There you are. Woohoo! I'm glad you're all socially distancing. And Gadigal country in Sydney with Julie. Big wave. Hello, Gadigal. And in Toowoomba in Giambol country. Where are you? There you are. Lovely. Thank you. And I'm here in somebody's lounge room on, which is great. We're being hosted by Sharon and with Kate and Helen in Select Beach, so they can all wave too, which is wonderful. It's great to be here. We're going to check in with Renee's going to pop a little Menti meter into the chat, so down there, and you're going to say a couple of words, just to pop your words in about how you're feeling on your arrival today. We'd love your check-in, your 2 words. Off you go. Curious. You feel free to pop in any words you like. Sleepy and excited. And here comes the Menti, so we can get to see all those words as they're starting to arrive. Creative, keep them coming. Oh, look at that. Accomplished, enthusiastic, wowed. I love that we are both tired and energetic. It's the and that really makes the difference. It's wonderful to see you all here today. Flustered, yeah, I guess that might be someone dealing with traffic as well. Okay, thank you so much, Renee. That's wonderful to just help us all arrive in the space. And if you haven't had a chance yet to pop your country on into the chat, which First Nations land you're on, we'd really love to bring that all in. We recognise and acknowledge elders past, present and emerging. And for us in Australia, it's land that's never been ceded. And so we really want to pay our respects to everyone who is in this incredible lineage of helping bring about the change that we want to see in the world. And SheEO is a part of that. So if you haven't updated your Zoom name, please do that. An A if you're an activator, a V if you're a venture, and a G if you're a guest. And if you're a very first timer and want to be part of the first timers group, pop a little asterisk, a little star into it. So now I'm going to hand over to Vicky Saunders, and you are going to celebrate that moment by just giving her a great big kiss to Vicky from wherever you are, and welcome in, Vicky.
Oh, thank you so much, Mara, and kisses back. I feel like I'm seeing the future. We're in like such a lockdown over here. I'm coming to you today from Turtle Island, unceded territory, Treaty 13 in Toronto. And I just need to arrive for a minute. Okay, Jesse, can you put up this slide? This is a picture. I Googled tonight, Australia, women. I know there's a lot going on in Australia right now around women. And I Googled and it took me like 3 pages on Google search to get beyond the cricket. It was all just like women and cricket. Something happened with cricket and came to this, which I just want to like breathe this in for a minute. Enough, the word enough. We are enough of this craziness. And this picture to me, so this was taken at your March for Justice in Sydney. And this is really how I feel most days. The persistent violence, the structural inequities, the dangerous workplaces, the gender inequality, enough. It's really our time to change all of this. If you're here for the first time at SheEO, we're here to transform ourselves and the systems we live in by collectively working on the world's to-do list. So what does that mean? It means when there's a racial reckoning, which we experienced last summer in the US, we take action as a community. We formed a working group on racial justice globally across all 5 countries to explore our part in it and to decondition ourselves. When we see our business models not working, we fund ventures like the world's biggest garage sale, which focuses on resource recovery. They just won the Banksia's Minister's Award for the Environment, a gold standard award in sustainability for their partnership with Officeworks. We support an ethical super fund tailored for women by women because our markets are biased beyond belief and we can do so much better. We put our money where our values are here. When we discover brilliant innovations like in Vorinex, which recycles 50% of the commercial plastic waste in Tasmania, we spread the word and use our collective power and influence to help expand their model. Now coming to Queensland, thanks to Monica Bradley and other activators from the region, because we all want to live in a cleaner, more sustainable world. We're committed as a community to building equitable systems that benefit all. So we fund and support Aboriginal, Māori ventures who are preserving culture and sharing wisdom that will help us all survive on this planet, like in digital and job loads. And we gather to get rooted in our story with Echo Alec, who is going to be our new global Indigenous lead. We pay attention as a community to our privilege and we use our power with those who have been underrepresented and undersupported to ensure that the future that we create benefits everyone by gifting in activations and reaching out to communities who've been put at the margins. Together, we know we can do anything we put our minds to, truly. We started with getting capital and support to women with brilliant ideas to solve major challenges we're facing, and by bringing our resources and our networks and our expertise to bear. And now we're starting to realize that together, working on the top priorities we face in our communities, we can transform anything as long as we start by transforming ourselves. So if you want to have your mind blown, because that's what we all need to do, get out of our heads into our hearts, you have come to the right place. We are here to trust our intuition and dream in a whole new world together. If that resonates with you, welcome to SheEO.world. We have been waiting for you.
Wow, thank you so much, Vicki. I have chills. And I really feel such a strong connection with everyone on this call today, especially seeing all of those in-person events. I'm going to just build on what Vicki shared here and share a little bit more about what this looks like. So at SheEO, we have a global ecosystem, a global community of radically generous women, and we're providing holistic support to the ventures as well as the activators to each other. Everyone in our community is committed to working on the world's to-do list, which we define as the critical priorities of today, the UN Sustainable Development Goals. In our model, each year, hundreds of radically generous women who we call activators each contribute $1,100 or $92 a month. And that money is pooled together and loaned out in the form of 0% interest loans to support ventures that as activators, we get to go online and help select. Those ventures receive the funding in the form of a 0% interest loan, and they pay it back over the course of 5 years. And each year, as money is paid back into the fund, we loan it out again to support more and more ventures over time. Since 2015, around the world, 7,000 radically generous women have activated, and collectively we have supported and funded over 100 women-led and women-owned ventures. We wanted to share the timeline for the year in Australia and New Zealand as requested by many of you. So right now you can activate year-round. Is this not in presentation view? Okay, one moment, please. Does that work? Is that good? Okay, thank you. So right now, activation is open. You can go onto our website and learn more about activating and sign up to be part of the community. Venture applications for our new cycle will open on May 25th for Australia and New Zealand. So if you're a majority woman owned and majority woman led venture that is working on the world's to-do list and you have minimum 50K in revenue, we invite and encourage you to apply. Renee will share the link in the chat and you can find all the information there about how to apply. When the ventures apply, we then have 2 rounds of voting to select the ventures. The dates are listed here. And then in October and November, we'll gather in person for a summit to find out who the new ventures are, to dive deeper with their businesses, and to celebrate the impact that we're creating together as a community every day. Beyond that timeline, there are so many ways that you can get involved and participate in the SheEO community. You can build relationships, you can ask for help, you can offer your support to one another. When you join as an activator, you are invited to join a group welcome call, as well as you'll have the opportunity to be part of a one-on-one coffee chat with an existing activator as an introduction to the community. Every single week at SheEO, we host 5 community calls where, just like today's event, we have a chance to connect, to meet each other, to offer our support to one another. And we also use this as an opportunity to dive deeper on the topics we care about, how we work on the world's to-do list, how we change systems and transform ourselves and our mindsets. We also have a dedicated platform for asks and gives within the SheEO community. So we encourage all members of the community, activators and ventures, to share what you need help with and to offer your support to one another. And we'll have a chance to practice that in a moment when we go into our breakout groups. At SheEO, we have an online community, and all of these tools and resources are designed to help you get the support you need to change the world together. So in our online community, one of my favorite features is our searchable directory of thousands of radically generous women who you can search for by location, by skill set, by industry, and even what SDGs are they passionate about that you have that in common. Learning is so key to the SheEO community and the SheEO experience as both an activator and a venture. And some of the ways that we learn within the community are through our weekly calls, through dedicated learning circles, and through working groups, which are a great chance for us to get together and work on issues that matter, part of the world's to-do list, part of transforming systems, as Vicki mentioned earlier. The Racial Justice Working Group pictured here, something we started last August that has involved activators and ventures across our global community. There are many, many different ways that you can get involved and participate and co-create the SheEO community, but we do want to emphasize that it is on your own terms, which means you can be as involved as you like. This is your community, a place where we practice radical generosity, power with instead of power over. And next up, we'll get to hear from activators and ventures in the community about what their experience has been like. We invite you to join us on this journey. Thanks, Moira.
Thanks, Jessie. And can we just show some appreciation to Jessie? Jessie is an extraordinary woman whose own radical generosity continues to support and nurture so many of us. I'm very deeply grateful and appreciate her wonderful contribution of kind of just always having our back. And that's one of the things that we are in SheEO. We're part of this incredible lineage of women and grandmothers and great-grandmothers over the generations. And now is our turn to hold the baton for this period of time, to shift the conditions that we all need to shift, to have the planet and the place and the justice and equity that we all can benefit in as a whole SheEO world community for the rest of the world. So now we get a chance to actually listen in, and I'm going to introduce Nikki, and Nikki's in Aotearoa in New Zealand, and Nikki's going to share some of what it's been like for her to become an activator. So over to you, Nikki.
Thanks so much, Moira. I'm just going to put my little timer on because we're very tight for time and I'm trying to keep as close to 2 minutes as possible. So Morena, everyone, good morning. My name is Nikki Shuck and I would like to make a land acknowledgement. I live on Waiheke Island, which is land of Ngāti Paoa. I have been a activator since day one, and the SheEO network has been one of the best things that I've got involved with, both personally and professionally, and it's a pleasure to share that experience with you today. The one thing I would say to you is that if you are feeling any barriers whatsoever, perhaps you're feeling that previous networks you've been involved with have been quite cliquey or hard to get into, perhaps you're feeling that you haven't got enough business experience to be part of this community, put any of those thoughts aside. Let me reassure you, this is a whānau, a family of incredibly generous wahine women, and they are waiting to welcome you into this network. There are 3 areas that I'd like to touch on as an activator. The first is simply that network. I can say to you that during COVID, there was a lot of pressure, obviously, on a number of people, and we were doing a great job trying to keep our team motivated to be able to dial into those weekly calls and get my own source of energy and support from the SheEO network really helped me as a business director to be able to support my team and clients. The second thing is the learning circles that Jessie alluded to. This is the wonderful work of MJ. You will hear a lot about MJ if you get involved in the SheEO network. She provides business support for ventures, but we are very lucky as activators that we also get to access through the learning circles her incredible knowledge and skills. And these have been things that I have been able to take into my own personal life, but particularly from a professional perspective as well, and share with the team. So something I would definitely encourage. And then the third thing is the racial justice course, which again, Jessie talked about. Motivated by SheEO through Black Lives Matter. It's been phenomenal for me. I've always been aware of the white privilege that I have, but I have absolutely had my eyes opened to the daily struggles that many people have because of race through the world. So I have no doubt I'm a better person. I'm more confident in calling out racism. And I know as a business, Kate, who's also on this call from NSPR, our business, we are instigating an unconscious bias course with one of the other SheEO activators for our team to take part in that. And that's come very much from the racial justice course. I could literally talk about SheEO all day, but I will leave it there. I'm over time, and ngā mihi nui, thank you so much, and I really hope you'll join the whānau.
Thanks, Nikki. Big applause for you. I really appreciate your incredible leadership as well. Let's not underestimate how we all step into our leadership. So thank you for saying yes to sharing part of your activator story today. It's great to see you. We're going to move now to hear from a venture, so from Michaela Jade. So Michaela's the founder and CEO of the SheEO venture that was supported a couple of years ago in digital. And Michaela is an extraordinary leader as well, and an Indigenous woman. And I'm going to hand over to you, Michaela.
Parami, thank you. Thank you so much for having me today. I'm here because there were two amazing people that believed in me when I didn't believe in myself. And those two women are Anne-Marie Elias and Julie Trell. And I'm getting a bit teared up because I was a really low point when they asked me to join SheEO. I spent my last $1,200 on joining as an activator in 2018. And I was trying to get my venture off the ground. I then wasn't able to afford my second year, so Anne-Marie Elias stepped in and supported me as an activator, and Julie Trell encouraged me to apply as a venture. And at the time, it was just myself, and then the wonderful Joanna Baker joined me, and we applied to become a venture together. That was a life-changing experience for us. We had the support we needed to finally believe in ourselves and grow. We had ambitious targets. And SheEO made us do a company dashboard at the first venture retreat. And I'm proud to say that we've achieved every single one of the goals in there within 9 months, which we thought would take us a couple of years, which included bringing on the most incredible Indigenous team into my company that I could have ever dreamed of. And a lot of them are on the call today. And I really thank Peter and Chelsea and Karis and Joe and Cassandra and Matt for joining our team and helping us reach thousands of kids to teach them digital skills. We're really, really proud to have also supported several Indigenous ventures to join SheEO Network. We funded them 2 women to join ourselves now, and we continually encourage other Indigenous women to get involved in activating and get involved in the network because it has been so life-changing for us. And in particular, I just wanted to say thank you to the other activators and ventures who've been involved in our business, and also to the wonderful MJ who mentors us every fortnight, which has been so integral to helping us shape our company to what it is today. And I really couldn't have done it without everybody being involved. So thank you so much.
Oh, Michaela, it's always so inspiring to hear you and see you and your incredible impact that you're already having, and the more and more that we can contribute towards that. I know that's a really shared goal of all of us. So big love to you and your team. It's just fantastic. It's absolutely wonderful. So I really encourage people to look up in digital, and you can see in the chat, Renee's popped in the link. So follow them through, and these are the kind of ventures that you can support when you do activate. And it's lovely to feel that you've got a little taste of what we've got to do. Mick, you're actually amazing, as Nat's saying, and we love you big time. So we are going to have now an opportunity for you to experience what this Ask Give's all about. And one of the things that I think women have a lot of not so much practice in is actually how to ask. So we like to help you exercise your ask muscle, and we're often very, very good at giving, but let's see how we go with our asks as well. So we're going to be going into breakout rooms, and I think we've got 12 or 13 breakout rooms. Each breakout room will have a lovely human, beautiful SheEO person who'll be facilitating that conversation with you, and it'll be an opportunity for you to think about what you might like to actually ask for and what you might like to give to someone. So an ask is something that you need some help with, and a give is what kind of support you'd like to offer. And if it's the first time that you've joined us and you're not quite sure about an ask or a give, that's okay. Just have a little eavesdrop into the conversation, and before too long, I think the SheEO virus will have completely infected you, and you will be perfectly able to ask and give. So I'm going to hand over to, I think Nat's going to send us into breakout groups, and we're going to be in groups for about 20 so minutes. And in that, then we're going to come back and we have a quick wrap up before passing over just for some last messages and a few little extra bits. So Nat, over to you for the magic of Zoom.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Moira. We are going to be in your breakout rooms for 25 minutes. Feel free to be as radically generous as you can and enjoy. We'll see you soon.
Yes, here we go. You're all starting to arrive. Fabulous. I hope you had this enriching conversation. I'm sure you did, as we did in our little room here in Wadawali in Select Beach on Kaurna country. I'd love you all to pop into the chat. See if you can come up with the name of a book that would describe what your experience was in your year, in your little rooms. And so it could be anything at all, and pop it into the chat, and then we'll get to gather all of these up into an incredible library of books. And if you're not already in touch with the library of books of SheEO writers, Julie Trell can pop that into the, or perhaps Nat, someone can pop that into the, well, look at this, Big Magic, Living Micro Surfs. Okay, that sounds like a book I might like to read. Intertwined Lives. What other books are we going to be reading? Becoming the Next Venture. Oh, that sounds fantastic. So keep them coming. We will be using all of these titles to inform and grow and help us understand what is indeed the SheEO magic that happens in these Zoom rooms. So if you do want to amplify the voices and the information and the sharing that you had in those groups, please feel free to share those in your socials and hashtag SheEO magic. Really start trending online wherever you are. I'm going to hand over to Monica, and Monica Bradley, who is in Brisbane. Monica, come on down and tell us about what we might be able to do next if we want to activate. Monica, are you there? Where are you? Come on, let's encourage her. Call it, come on, here she comes, yay. You'll need to come off mute. And while Monica's coming, don't forget to keep popping into the chat your incredible titles of your books, the books that you saw and heard and imagined in your small groups. That'd be great. Oh, the one book just called She. Here we go, Monica, sharing and telling us all about activation. You're on, Monica, you're on live. You can start talking.
All right.
Yes, a little bit of quiet in that room in Brisbane, please, so that Monica can share and spread some of the goodness that she does with her SheEO magic. You're on.
Everyone, hello, welcome to Brisbane. We're having such a good time networking, we completely lost track of time. We've got a remarkable bunch of 62 women here. In Brisbane that are a combination of ventures that are really excited to apply for our money, activators, young and old, and a bunch of really committed women that are really committed to having enough, being enough, and changing the world together. I activated 3 years ago and I continue to activate because the world does not turn up how I want it to be, for me or for my family or for our First Nations or for our environment. And so the best way that I can change the world is by giving my time, energy, and small amounts of money and expertise into a network that is truly committed to making that change. And collectively, we are. I had a tear in my eyes. I greeted Yaz as she walked in this morning, remembering back how foreign this concept was 4 years ago when we heard Vicky, and I thought, she's my sister, she's got this idea. Are we crazy to think that we could do this? And I think at first we thought we were crazy. Now we know it is our time. And so I'm really committed now to the growth curve, not growth for growth's sake, growth for the change that the world needs of us. And so together we can do that. So I encourage anyone that's thinking about activating, I can absolutely assure you, whatever investment you make is repaid thousands of times over for you personally, but also for the opportunity to be in these friendship and relationship groups where truly people have your back and are radically generous. So thank you, Vicky, for the inspiration. Thank you to each and every one of you for your time, for your radical generosity. And I can only imagine how we're going to really change. The change we are going to affect together will be life-changing. Thank you.
Thanks, Monica. And can everyone have their back there? Give a big round of applause. Woo. Thanks so much, Monica, and thank you for gathering those 62 radically generous women in Brisbane. It's just brilliant to see you all, and I can see some familiar faces in the audience. So big hello to Yaz and to Jess as well. We're going to pass on now to Jessie. Jessie's going to give us a little bit of information about how we can keep connecting in, and also to do one of the most amazing things that I ever think happens on Zoom is to take some photos. So over to you, Jessie.
Thank you, Moira. We'll keep this really quick. Thank you so much, Monica, for your powerful words. For everyone who's on Zoom joining us virtually, we are launching a quick poll. We'd love to hear how you'd like to get involved. If you're a first-time guest and you'd like to activate, if you'd like to reactivate, for all the entrepreneurs on the call, if you would like to apply as a venture, reminder, applications open May 25th. For those interested in activating, would you like to have a one-on-one call with an existing activator to learn more? Let us know in the poll. We have an amazing welcome circle who would love to welcome you. And last, we'd love to hear if you met women on today's call in your breakout group that you'd like to keep in touch with. So just leave that poll open for a moment. And we'd love to hear how today's event was for you, especially if you are a first-time guest. Renee is going to drop the link in the chat to share your reflections on how the event was for you. And last but not least, our famous screenshots at the end of our call. And for all those who are at in-person events, we'd love for you to wave your hands wildly as well so we can capture in our photo. So I always post a LinkedIn recap after our call and tag everyone who's on the call today, and would love to do the same. If we can share an expression with how we're feeling. I'm feeling fired up, especially after Monica's remarks. On the count of 3, and we have 4 screens, so we're going to do this for a little bit. 1, 2, 3. Woohoo! On the second screen, keep those hands up. 1, 2, 3. And the third screen. Brisbane. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. And it looks like we have the same folks in the 4th screen, so I think that's it. So thank you so much for joining. Really appreciate being here with you all. Passing it back to you, Moira.
Thanks, Jessie. I always really love those photographs because then I can go back and say, oh, I didn't see them and I want to say hello. So when you get to see your LinkedIn, check out what Jessie's popped up, and please share what it was like for you. We'd love to hear how today has been for you, what might be emerging inside of you, what kind of impact do you want to make in the world. Tag in your friends, let them know, and hashtag SheEO magic, and let's get that magic trending all over the world in every possible place. I'd really love being an activator. It's made a huge difference to my life. I've been involved in lots of things. The Racial Justice Working Group has been completely transformational. When I get the opportunity to be in part with MJ, that shifts things that are inside of me sometimes I didn't even know needed to be shifted. So we are about transforming ourselves to transform the world, and to be doing it with all of you makes all the difference. Have a fabulous week ahead. Keep enjoying each other's company, and don't forget to practice your ask and give muscles. All the best. Bye.